I've been chosen. Hey everyone, I'm Kit. This week, Creature and I are going up to George H. Crosby Manitou State Park, just a little bit further up the North Shore, for a 2-night backpacking trip. I'm really looking forward to testing some new tips and tricks for staying warm because the weather is going to be quite chilly. But we're really looking forward to a short but reportedly rough trail and then a full day hanging out by the Manitou River. So once everything is loaded up, we're going to be ready to roll, and I can't wait. Right, we have arrived at the trailhead just before 4 p.m. It's currently in the low 40s, so we're making sure we're warm on the trail, and it's going to get all the way down to a projected 29 degrees tonight. We have a little over a mile of hike in to campsite number 3 that we've reserved for the next 2 nights. So as soon as we're both all buttoned up, we'll be ready to go. Are you excited? You ready to be in the woods? Yeah. And in your hammock? I'm keeping my hammock. Okay. All set?
All set.
Okay. Ecologically friendly boot brush to remove invasive seeds. Good idea, especially since both of these pairs of shoes last hiked in another state. Okay, there's a collection of sticks for you.
Oh, look at that. That's just too tall for me. I'll leave that for somebody that's in the 6-foot range. This'll do.
All right. What we're doing today is actually a tiny piece of the Superior Hiking Trail as well. Such good woods. I enjoyed my last trip, but this is, well, clearly a different biome, very different trees. The mood is different. It is more like the deep woods hiking I am used to doing. Seems like the heavy rain we got earlier in the week definitely melted out a lot of the remaining snow and left quite a few wet patches in this trail. Was an outlook marked on the state park map here. A tiny piece of the lake.
Yeah, just through the hills.
So the second half of that spur trail was basically gone. We definitely lost it at some point because it was not visible. But I'm gonna check my map in a second. 99% sure we just found the
Middle Trail SHT again. I was wrong. This was the actual SHT, but regardless, we are not lost in the woods.
Might have had trails.
It is good enrichment for me to wander around on and off a disused trail and go bowling through brush, but I would not recommend going down the backside of that spur. Just go off the short end and turn around. So, we found the snow. Creature has wiped out once, trying to stick to the middle of the trail and stay on the snow.
Ta-da!
The day youth shelter has seen better days. Had a bad winter, I guess. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting sign placards in this park. Just after 5, we have turned off onto the Manitou River Trail, so our campsite should be ahead almost any minute now. Whole big river.
Creature scouting for hammock hang spots while I catch my breath. Aside from the detour to the overlook and associated bushwhacking, it was honestly not that difficult of a trail. There were definitely some heavy rock sections and definitely some elevation drop to get to the river, but overall only mildly spicy and not that long. The campsite has less ideal hammock hangs than I was hoping. I think the report I was looking at was older, but we're gonna find some good spots to make it work.
I'm trying to pitch very low and close to help trap heat, to help keep me warm overnight. This wall might be a little too close in this lay down test, but overall I think I'm pretty close. Creature's been working on figuring out the best way to pitch their new tarp they got over the holidays, and that has taken up a lot of our evening. So current plan is, once this is well and truly snug, we're gonna head back down the hill for some quick dinner and then just tuck in to stay warm tonight. Fires will be tomorrow activities. A little more of a hike to this one, and a little more of an open air bathroom experience. Food's in there. Just gotta wait. It is 8 p.m. The last touches of sun are dancing on the tips of the trees across the river. my dinner is mixed up. Boiling water for hot water bottles with our old Nalgene's. That's one of the things we'll be doing to stay warm. We also brought a bunch of extra clothes, so you can feel the chill setting in already as it gets dark very quickly. So I'm eager to finish up these chores and then get up, change into my warm clothes, and be really ready to be snug in a cocoon. All right, it is fully deep dark. The river is rushing away down the hill. I have spent quite a bit of time wrestling myself into every bit of layer and heat assist I've got. And now it is just time to be cozy and hopefully fall asleep well. It's gonna get cold tonight, but we'll stay warm somehow. It is a absolutely beautiful morning. A late morning, because we both slept right until about 10. But it was definitely a rough night. I woke up with a migraine, thus me enjoying some forest floor time.
Well, there were a couple points in the night where I was shivering uncontrollably, but opted after I deployed the hot feet warmer thingies to not do anything else, because I realized that much like bees trying to warm their hives, the shivering was generating heat, and after I got finished with the shivering session, it was warmer in my quilt. So I'm like, oh, it's working. And that was fine.
That was the experience I had in my first really cold trip in October. At one point, when I was up for the bathroom in the middle of the night, it was reading 24 degrees, which is significantly colder than the forecast had been. I stayed a little bit warmer than Creature, I think. I definitely still was struggling with cold a bit, and the hot feet actually didn't help me at all, because when they were stuck to my socks, they got so hot my feet felt like they were burning, so I pulled those off. But the hot water bottle made a really big difference. The extra layers of clothes made a really big difference, and grabbing my alpaca shawl and shoving it into the bag with me made a really big difference. Oh, and having my spare down vest down by my toes for extra foot insulation. So even though it was absolutely the coldest night I've ever camped, I stayed a little warmer than I did on some of my other cold trips, and in general was less stressed about it just because of the experience I've had.
I was not sure that I was actually going to need all of the layers that I packed, but I was glad for every single one of those. I wish I'd had room for a shawl as well, but no such luck.
Well, you can take my shawl tonight if you want it, because I was
Tonight's
okay.
supposed to be like 10 degrees warmer, so I think it'll be fine.
Who knows anymore, man?
Yeah, I mean...
If you're struggling, you can come ask me for the shawl.
Okay.
Time for a little camp mocha. Maybe that will fix me.
Landed right on me while I was trying to get my bear can out.
I have been chosen. So we're agreed today is a day for lollygag? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna go back up and lounge in my hammock with my book for a bit then.
Sounds lovely.
We both lounged for a while, and since we both only felt up to snacks in the morning, we're splitting our biscuits and gravy for a lunch. So Creature has gone to collect more water to filter while I get started cooking for the two of us. whole cluster of folks kayaking right past camp today.
We have also, in the 24 hours we've been here, had 2 different couples accidentally end up down in our camp thinking that it was along the line of the main trail. So this is definitely a moderately busy area. But even though you can kind of see people on the river or walking by on the trail, this is still a slightly secluded site. Trade-offs of being easy to get to.
The water here is almost orangey, burgundy brown. I know there's a lot of sediment stirred up from snow melt, but I wonder how much iron in the ground has to do with the color, because it's a remarkably clear orangey brown, not all cloudy like I would expect heavy sediment to be.
And despite the fact that this isn't the ideal spot for us, it's still a pretty nice spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You like the river view here? So this was my perhaps silly addition for comfort with cold weather camping. It's the very first full circle lace shawl I ever knitted, made with fine alpaca yarn, and that seems absolutely not the kind of thing most people would take backpacking, but for one, I do know how to repair it and have the materials if I need to, and 2, of the many circle lace shawls I've made before, this is the one that my cat fell the most in love with, so it has spent a lot of time being a couch blanket. It's just the right level of comforting but not too precious to take out here. Now, I wouldn't go hiking with it wrapped around my shoulders. It's just for hanging out at camp and tucking into the hammock for warmth. But it has felt very, very luxurious and comforting to have on this trip. With luxuries and lots of extra warm layers, I was very concerned that my pack weight would be a lot to deal with. I did end up putting everything in my circuit. We haven't found our scale since we moved. I know we moved it, and I know I unpacked it. I just don't know where I unpacked it to. So I don't know what my pack weight actually was, but I would guess it was somewhere between 40 and 45 pounds in a pack that is recommended a comfort weight at 35. So I was worried, but given all that, I actually experienced no real pain carrying that pack. I did carry it a short distance, but I was not feeling my best. So it's really reassuring to me to know that I can overstuff that pack for cold weather and still have a good time on the trail. So you like your new fire starting toys?
That is delightful.
Birch bark feels like a cheat code.
It really does.
Like,
For this trip, I did remember my knitting. I'm knitting myself a mid-layer. It's going to be a pullover hoodie. And while it's not going to be ultralight by any means, it's going to be much more lightweight than many other handmade materials. I'm working with this yarn that is actually a fine tube of nylon that is blown through with alpaca and just a tiny bit of merino. So it is much lighter weight than a lot of yarns of this width, but it should still be very air trapping and warm. Almost kind of a hybrid between something like this densely knit merino mid-layer and a puffy outer down jacket.
There's a forecast for about 30% chance of rain, starting as early as 7 p.m. So it's 6:30 and we've been kind of battening things down just in case. But part of that, since the clouds are visibly thickening up, is that I'm taking my bear can to tuck it in for the night. Since we now actually live in bear country, I'm being a little more conscientious about walking it a good distance away from camp. The forecast only has it projected getting to a low of 35 tonight, but we're still taking all of our cold weather precautions. So water filter is tucked safe in my chest pocket, and we're currently boiling water for the Nalgene's again. That sky does not look the most promising for staying dry tonight. All right, it is minutes until 7 o'clock. I'm all bundled up. Creature's just doing her last bathroom break and ready to ride out whatever this night has for us. Well, it did say 30% chance of rain. It's supposed to be light rain. If it is, we're just both antsy about being out of practice with our pitches and antsy about the higher consequences of getting wet when it's cold. But we're good at handling things. What can I say? I love you.
I love you too.
Good night.
Good morning, everyone. We had a much warmer night last night, and I'm deeply amused that I'm thinking of 33 degrees as a much warmer night. But with all of those stay warm hacks, instead of being the edge of comfort, it was quite cozy. And this morning, with the sun up, the temperature has rocketed above the forecast, all the way up into the low 60s, which is finally makes it feel like it's May. I just spent some time laying in the hammock, peeled out of my sleep layers, feeling like the world loved me and everything was going to be okay. But I can't lay there for forever because this is our last day we have reserved. So I'm making my morning mocha. We will eventually get camp packed up and get on our way back out at night. Hey, pretty.
Hi.
How was your night?
Pretty cozy. I slept for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, you
I
needed that. Yeah,
And it's another beautiful day.
it is.
You are the master water scooper.
Yeah, I was expecting to need at least one more, but it just went right in.
Yeah. The downside to camping over such an unexpectedly wide temperature range is that all of that excess cold weather sleeping gear bulk had to go into the pack. including my hiking base layers because it's way too warm for me to wear them out today. So we have tested and found pretty much maximum main compartment volume for this pack, and that's what it's got in it right now. I barely got it to do one fold on the top collar. You ready to go?
I think so.
Okay, let's go see a waterfall then.
Yeah.
Manitou Falls, and it was absolutely worth the detour to come look at it. Okay, back to our intersection, which means now turning back off to the middle trail, SHT southbound. While I'm resting yet again, really trying to sit with my feelings about how hard it is not to compare myself to other people. It's a huge part of how people talk about backpacking is pace and mileage, and it gets in my head and I'll start feeling like I shouldn't even be doing this if I can't make more than like a 2-hour mile, you know? But I need to give myself some grace. 1, because I'm out of shape. 2, because I am at best in post-stroke and this level of exertion might bring my migraine back. And 3, this first half of it back to the car is just a lot of really, really steady climb over really uneven terrain with occasional ice patches to make it spicy. So that's taking a lot of effort with a lot of weight that still isn't hurting me, but I'm sure feeling the fatigue. And in the end, my hikes don't have to look like anybody else's hikes. A lot of people wouldn't be out here at all. Some people would argue with my health stuff that I am crazy for being out here at all. But I'm determined to do it. I'm determined to show people that you can do it. And so I'm doing it. Just very slowly. want to speak too soon, but we might be done with that endless climb out of the river valley. Because just now we're passing where we went in to the spur, to the overlook.
And now it should just be dips up and down. I remember there being a little creek, but...
Yeah, so just some like normal level of minor up and down, I think, the rest of the way to the car. So if you want to say anything to the people on YouTube.
People on YouTube, you wish you were here. It's gorgeous.
Parking lot ahoy. I'm just capturing the joy.
All right, we made it through the whole trip. I lost tracking for a little bit there. We did probably something between 2.5 and 3 miles. Not under, not over. How did you feel about this trip?
With this being the first time that I've gone out in the season and me having an otherwise very sedentary job, I was pleasantly surprised at how well I handled that, because elevation changes are the thing that I am worst about, and doing it when I'm not used to it and also have a heavier than usual pack because of all the winter gear, I was like, this could be a little rough, but it went well overall.
I was really impressed with how we handled the cold, even though it went well below the forecast and well below the line where we would have called it if we knew it was going to get that cold.
Yeah.
I think we did pretty well. Like, I know you were miserable the first night, but...
Yeah, like, the first night was rough, but it was a kind of rough that I thought might happen, and I was prepared for. It was just, you know, not fun.
I'm pleased to know that our bags do in fact meet their survival ratings.
Yes.
Like, that is how you would expect performance to be at survival rating.
Having had hypothermia before, I knew that I was not in the danger zone. It's just unpleasant to be flirting with it.
Yeah, this was an amazing park. I cannot wait to come back and try out some other campsites, see if we can't tweak to a campsite that's more ideal for us rather than just pretty but having some minor layout challenges. I understand why people were telling us it's one of their favorite parks.
Yeah, it is beautiful out here.
I'm very tired. We should probably get rolling.
Yeah.
Figure out where we're eating on the way home?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it, leave comments with your thoughts, share it with a friend, or subscribe for future updates. I am planning on sticking to my approximately every 2-week schedule, with videos being released on Fridays. My next video will be covering my upcoming trip to Jay Cook State Park, practically in my backyard here. And I'll be doing a solo overnight in what's looking to be warm but windy weather. I'm really looking forward to sharing that and the rest of my future trips with you, and I will see you out there.